So I'm constantly hearing about how the left does not have any podcast infrastructure. They need to create podcasts for the left side. Joe Rogan was the left side. Tim Pool was the left side. These people who do podcasts are not right or left. Some of these people are very libertarian left. They're not on the right at all. It's like Donald Trump's not on the right at all either, but they have this defined people as right or left, which is totally false. I'm not right wing. I'm not left wing. I'm just normal. They said she didn't go on any podcasts. I don't watch corporate news. I listen to podcasts to get my information. And the three podcasts that I'm aware of that she went on were Charlemagne the God, she went on Call Your Daddy, and she went on Club Shay Shay. And the reason I was watching Club Shay Shay is because when the guy first came out about the Diddy stuff, I don't consider them right and left or Democrat and Republican. Podcasts are podcasts. So Kamala had the opportunity to go on Joe Rogan. She turned it down. And if you watch the interviews with Kamala on the podcast that she went to, they were a disaster. She is a disaster. The reason that Kamala didn't win is not because of the podcast infrastructure or there's right-wing podcasts, because there are, but there's not. I mean, there's just podcasts. The thing about podcasts is people just speak normally, like I'm now. There's no agenda other than the normality of conversation. That's why Kamala lost. It had nothing to do with doing on podcasts. She went on podcasts. She lost because she's a bad candidate. She's a bad person. She's a bad speaker, and she's not very intelligent. So the whole idea of talking about podcasts, they need to do more of that, they need to develop more podcasts, they need to find a way to reach their audience. The other fallacy with that is that the podcasts don't reach their audience. The audience finds the podcasts that they're interested in. The corporate media has an agenda, and they lie to you. They lie to you about Russia collusion. They lie to you about impeachment. They lie, and nobody wants to listen to that anymore. We want to hear the truth, and we want to hear two people sitting down talking. It's the honesty and reality of a podcast that attracts people. So the idea that you have to create a podcast infrastructure, it doesn't work that way. It works the other way around. Just that Kamala wasn't left, Trump wasn't right. It was Trump was popular, Kamala was awful. Trump, look at the cabinet picks he's making. I mean, he's making middle-of-the-road centrist people, Democrats, Republicans. He doesn't represent the right at all. Donald Trump represents America. Kamala Harris represented, I don't know, Jamaica, stupidity, DEI. She just represented all the wrong things. And that's why she lost.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear.